I was at the Bulter, PA Trump rally on July 13th, where Trump was nearly assassinated, another rally attendee was killed, and 2 more in critical condition. There's a lot of questions regarding the event, both leading up to and during the rally. One of the main ones is, how did the shooter, Crooks, know about that rooftop? How did he know he'd be able to get up there and have a shot at Trump? You would have assumed that the Secret Service would have gone out and made sure that no one would be able to get up there, or potentially use that for their own snipers, as it was slightly higher than the buildings that they had their snipers on. And how did Crooks know about the ladder? How did he know that the police wouldn't be surveilling the area so that no one could do what he did? Another question that comes up is, how did Crooks know not to have a scope on his rifle? From the information that I found online, it appears that the Secret Service can detect a rifle scope up to a mile away, meaning that the only way he could get that close and go undetected long enough to get a shot off was with no scope on the gun. How did he know to do that? The information that I found online suggests that his father's gun had a scope on it and that he took it off. So again, how did he know to take it off? If you were going to shoot at any target at that distance, you would want it to be as accurate as possible, meaning you would most likely put a scope on it, which shows that he not only knew about that, he had been most likely practicing without a scope on at a decent amount of distance so that he felt that he could take that shot. There are a lot of questions about that. What were his plans if that rooftop wasn't available? They're saying that his vehicle had explosive devices in it. If that rooftop wasn't available, what was he going to do? Was he going to throw bombs into the crowd? We had to go through checkpoints to get into the rally, and there were fences on both sides. So on the left side of the fence, where he was, there was a field, and then there were those buildings. If he wasn't able to shoot at Trump, was he going to try to kill as many people as he could in the crowd? It's really scary to think that they weren't watching that area more closely to ensure not only the safety of Trump, but also the safety of everyone in attendance there. We were all at risk. This could have potentially been a massacre. When the shots were going off, we didn't know it was one gunman. We didn't know what was happening. For all we knew, there could have been several. They could have been opening fire on the crowd. We didn't know at the time what happened to Trump. It was just really kind of a scary and angering experience. Why didn't they use the water tower as a vantage point? That would have given them a field of view over the entire areas to ensure that no one could do what Crooks did. Why don't they use every bit of technology available to surveil the area, including drones? If they were using drones to surveil the area, they could easily spot someone doing something out of the ordinary, like climbing on a rooftop, and be able to ensure that police get there to stop them before anything like this happens. Why did the police apparently climb up, see the shooter, and then retreat without effectively communicating that, it appears, to the Secret Service so that they could make sure that this doesn't happen? They could have got Trump out of there, radioed it in, got him off the stage before anything happened. I'm not saying that would have stopped the shooter, but what if it could have? If the police knew from video taken from people much closer to the building, it looks, the police are looking for this guy on the rooftop. Why didn't they step back and try to shoot him so that they could injure him and incapacitate him, so that he wouldn't have the opportunity to continue going to the peak of the rooftop and have a shot into the crowd. There's a lot of problems that came up that day. Law enforcement should have been watching that area. They were sure all over the road. They were blocking certain areas to make sure that everyone stayed in line. Why weren't they back there watching and making sure that no one had access to the roof? They should have watched where the ladder was attached to the building. When you go to one of these events, you go through the security clearances, you make sure you have no weapons on you, and you're putting your security in the hands of local law enforcement, assuming that they would have gone through the area, locked it all down, checked everything to ensure that everyone in attendance at these rallies would be safe, which they obviously did not do. This was absolutely tragic, and it should have never happened, and it should definitely shape how they secure these areas going forward into the future. At least one of the sniper teams is claiming that they had eyes on the shooter before he opened fire, and it also appears that they did not need to get a clearance to shoot him. So why did they not take that shot? Why did they wait until he opened fire onto Trump and the crowd? Again, there are just a multitude of questions surrounding this event. It was absolutely tragic, and it should never happen again. It shouldn't have happened to begin with. But at that, thanks for watching.
Look at this. Butler County Trump rally. Shots fired right across, or something, right across the fence there that sounds like shots.